Hey guys, how's it going? It's Todd from Like-Minded Lunatics bringing you another Drink, Play, Swear. It's all we do here. So, if it sounds fun to you, then you're home. Let me just say before we get going, we'd love you to be a like-minded lunatic with us. If you like the content you're seeing and you do feel home, you might be a like-minded weirdo just like us. So hit that subscribe button, like the stuff you like, and show us that you like it. Comment, unless it's rude, and then we'll set it on fire and throw it into the garbage. Anyway, lots of great stuff on the channel for you guys to check out right now. Mark's got the Monday matchups, matching two music videos to each other and picking his favorite. Of course, I'm bringing you Drink, Play, Swear on Wednesdays. Thursdays right now, we've got you the Adventures of Hero Man content. Am I speaking too fast so that Mark can't put these little things up for you in little windows up there? And, of course, the crown jewel of Like-Minded Lunatics, what got it really going, was the Friday night videos. So check those out, please, as well. All right, so if you don't know what we do around here, we play a game. And, well, I didn't even make it a surprise today. I got Streets of Rage 4 up here today. It's a fun game, and I'm excited to play it. We played Final Fight before, which was always available on the Nintendo systems. But if you were a Sega Genesis player when the Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis were rivals. Your home version was Streets of Rage, and Streets of Rage 4 is out new. Pretty recently, so I want to check it out with you today. And I don't know if you're from around this area, but we like to pair our gaming with a little beverage. Today I got a Jim Beam going because, well, today's story I'm going to tell you takes place in Houston, Texas, and the Jim Beam Distillery is only 951 miles away from Houston, Texas. So I thought they went well together today. Let's do it. Let's play some Streets of Rage. I've played with this quite a bit. I enjoy it. And again, like I said last time, the beat 'em ups are just a lot of fun. So we're gonna have some fun today. Okay, so the story I want to tell you today does take place in Houston, Texas, a number of years ago with me and my college buddies. But this was after we graduated college. You don't care about the story of this game, right? I'm going to skip ahead. This was after we got out of college and we had gone on to start careers, living far away from each other in some cases. And there's a group of 6 of us. Now, this year that I'm going to tell you about, not all 6 of us went to Houston. Some years, somebody can't go. Now, I did not, like always, I did not prep very much to tell you this story, so I didn't talk to any of my buddies about if it would be okay for me to tell this story. So I'm going to use code names for them as I discuss them. So there were 5 of us on this particular trip, and of course I'm going to just refer to myself. But the other 4, we're gonna give some protection in case their families or employers are listening. Anyway, so we stayed close friends after college was over, and it occurred to us as we got a little older that, boy, we'd like to start doing guys' weekends. And because we are all very different, we're a motley crew of a group, we have different interests, different ideas about what's fun, and we like to spend our recreation time very differently. So because we could never agree on a single thing as a group, we decided to take turns letting folks decide where we were going to go and what we were going to do. And that was going to be the fun of it, is whosever year it was to plan the entire weekend, the 3-day weekend. And the rest of us just kind of had to be game for it. So the buddy of mine who was planning the year we went to Houston, I'm going to call him the newsman, okay? And if he watches this, he'll know I'm talking about him. He was involved in well, let's just not give it anymore. He's the newsman. The newsman had planned this trip for Houston, and he was really excited about it. So the 5 of us go out there, and we get to Houston. We're staying downtown Houston, okay? I didn't give this story a title even. You're probably wondering why you care about this and what I'm going to talk to you about. This is the story of the time I went to an underground after-hours vampire bar in Houston, Texas. Okay, You going to stick around now? Is that worth your time, buddy? All right. This is absolutely true, like all of them. I don't know. Are there embellishments? Who even knows anymore? I mean, you tell a story and you get a reaction, and maybe you embellish it to, 1% the next time you tell it. Maybe the time after that it gets a little higher. Anyway, it happened, okay? And if you were there, you know it happened. So we are walking around downtown Houston in the middle of the day and just getting our bearings. And downtown Houston is nice. It's clean. And I was surprised coming from San Antonio. We use our downtown. There's lots of folks down there and working and living. And I felt like while Houston was nice and I liked the storefronts and everything, that there weren't a lot of people around. But anyway, so we're walking around a lot, and there's not a ton of people at first. We walked past a steakhouse that we decided we were going to go to. It looked like a really great one, and we did eventually go to. But we walked past this old toy store, okay? Cue the spooky music and everything, right? Walk past this toy store, and it's closed down, shut down. Look at that dude. Creep with the knife. He's not even threatening me. He's just... Come on. Have a little person. If you're going to be a creep, have some personality. This toy store, it's abandoned, and it has like a marionette dangling in the front window, and everything's like dusty and dirty. And it almost looks intentional. One of my buddies in the group, we're going to call him X-Files because he's the one who introduced me to X-Files, and I have an appreciation for that series because of him. X-Files says, wow, I bet that's a drug ring, like posing as a toy store, because it just looked really staged. So we go about our business, and then my buddy the newsman tells us that indeed this evening we were going to go to the Houston Symphony. So we get all dressed up. Here we are, trying to be grown men, trying to be grown-ups. I put on a blazer, and it was a houndstooth blazer. I like a houndstooth, and I like a reason to say houndstooth. So... get dressed and go to the symphony, and it was a delight. Now, because I said all my buddies are different, half of us were not thrilled, but half of us were, and I kind of liked it. So we go to the symphony, we come out, and we've had a cultured evening of music, and we come out all dressed up, and now we're wanting to kind of get into a little trouble because we're all away from our families, and we don't have an alarm clock the next day. I want to say we are, I was 30. This was like the year 2011 or so. So, free of responsibility, out with the guys. So, we're wandering around downtown trying to get into some trouble. And, look at this guy. He looks like a good villain. So, we happen to walk past the storefront of the toy store, and guess what? Now it's open, and there's music playing inside, and there's smoke intentionally billowing out into the night air, sort of as a creepy invite. And so we're like, oh man, we have got to go in the toy store. So we go in the toy store, and you know that scene in Animal House? Again, if you haven't seen some of this stuff, you can go back. Shame on you, though. Watch Animal House. That scene in Animal House where the main characters go into this club, and the record scratches, and it's like because they're super out of place, right? That is the feeling I had. Being the first one, by the way, walk in the toy store because I was so enthusiastic to see what was going on in there. And it was a goth club. It was for lack of a better term, a vampire bar. So, now once you're in, you're in. Like, what are you going to do? Tuck tail and run? No. So I'm a guy in a houndstooth blazer and a tasteful beard. And I have to go into this place and try to be cool. And folks who know me know that, I was into heavy metal as a kid, and I like the subculture, but as I've grown up, I don't really look it, and I don't really keep up with it as much. So I definitely felt like the guy who was starting to gray, the middle-aged old man, walking into the hip black metal joint. So we belly up to the bar, and my friend, and I'm going to call him the Czechoslovakian, my friend who towers over me. I'm 6'3", and he towers over me. His superpower is that he's never been uncomfortable in his life, and if he was, no one knew it. And so he just refuses to be uncomfortable, bellies up right to the bar. There is a goth bartendress, barmaid, whatever you want to say, and she first thing she says is she's like glowering at us in the black eye makeup and the black wig, and she says, "What can I get you, Dad?" Real unhappy to see us, So my buddy orders a round of Budweisers or whatever, and that's when I reach into my pocket and see that my wallet does not have my credit card in it. And I remember that I have left my credit card at the lobby bar of the hotel we're staying in. Well, it's only a couple of blocks away. So I say, guys, I'm going to run and get my credit card, and then let me get us around. So I dash out into the street, and my buddy, and I haven't addressed him yet, he's the last component of this group. Let's call him the baseball player, because he played baseball, real creative. He comes with me. And anyone who knows me knows that I have a terrible sense of direction. So I just thought he was coming to help me. I said, "Dude, I'm fine. You can go on, hang out with everybody. I know where the hotel is." He says, "No, dude, I can't be in there." I said, "What are you talking about?" He says, "I think that's a real vampire bar." I said, "Well, I mean, dude, I know that people self-identify as vampires these days, and when we'd gone in the place, there was a little 3-piece band up there, and there was a dude with filed down teeth and everything. But there aren't people who turn into bats. We know that, right? We had college degrees. Sure, we like horror movies, but we don't actually believe in the ancient dead marching around feeding on people. So. But I'm like, dude, it's fine. What are you talking about? So I convince him in the course of going to get the credit card and everything that everything's fine and that he needs to come back with me. So we get back with my credit card, and the Czechoslovakian has, in the meantime, made a few friends for us, and it's less uncomfortable. This boss is really tough. This is the first boss here, Diva. You got to get a good pattern with her, and I'm not paying well enough attention. Look at this. Okay, let me get some food. Right. So, we hang out at the bar for a little bit, and we're dressed up, and we have our playbills from the event that we've gone to, and all of a sudden, this guy walks up to us, very well dressed, good-looking guy, similar age, maybe a little bit younger than us. We called him Johnny Dreadlocks because he said his name was John and he had dreadlocks. Johnny Dreadlocks walks up and very well dressed. He's in a black suit and one of those black coats with the white silk interior. Very, very slick, And he's also carrying a playbill. And he says, "Gentlemen," he glides up. He doesn't walk, I kind of bound when I walk. He glides up, super cool, right? And he says, "Gentlemen, were you at the symphony this evening?" Yeah, we were at the symphony. And he says, "Well, did we enjoy ourselves?" "Yes, we enjoyed ourselves." He says, "I'm surprised you like a place like this. Do you like a place like this?" And we said, "Yeah, it's cool. Just trying to, really, we're ready to get out of there." And he says, "Well, if you like a place like this, you should come back after hours. Now, you probably shouldn't tell anyone about it because it's not exactly on the books, but it's fun." And everyone at the bar, by the way, is really annoyed that Johnny Dreadlocks is there. Everyone knows him. They're like, "Hey, Johnny." So, we tuck tail, and now we're about to leave. And Johnny Dreadlocks gives us one final comment as we're on the way. He says, "Oh, boys, if you do come back, use the ATM first." Little wink. Use the ATM first. So we leave, and because we're guys in our early 30s and not really used to staying out late very often. We're like going to get a slice of pizza. We're trying to figure out a way to stay up late so that we can go back after 2 and check out whatever's going on at the after hours vampire bar. So, in the conversation at the pizza place, it becomes clear that some of us do not feel safe going, and some of us really want to go. So X-Files and the baseball player 100% do not want to go. And then the Czechoslovakian and the newsman and myself, we'll call Todd, we're definitely wanting to go. So we make a plan, and we wait around till 2 a.m. So X-Files and Mr. Baseball, they go back to the hotel to go to bed. And I believe we may have made fun of them a little bit. But they were probably the smart ones that in the end. So we go back to the place at 2 a.m. and it's closed, like you'd expect, right? Nobody around. And the Czechoslovakian says something like, oh boy, somebody's laughing at us right now. Somebody's standing around laughing. This was all a joke. But we're so curious, and we've stuck around, and now we're back, and so we really want to find out. And so we keep looking around the corner and knocking on the door and trying to peek in the windows. It's very dark in there. And then, yeah, look at that. Stage 1 clear. Nice. So eventually, the Czechoslovakian is leaning on an ATM that's right next to the place. And he says, wait a minute. Didn't Johnny Dreadlocks tell us to use the ATM? And the newsman says, well, yeah, but I think what that means is it's after 2 a.m. You can't use your credit card because it's not legal to like sell beer after hours. I think it just means bring cash. And he goes, but what if it means we have to use this ATM? So immediately we start tinkering with this ATM. But the screen doesn't work. And I'm messing around trying to see if it's unplugged, but it's plugged in and it doesn't seem to do anything. And that's when the Czechoslovakian starts hitting buttons, and he discovers that as he pushes down on the enter key, a light in a stairwell is illuminated in the building. After a moment, a side door opens, and a man we've not seen before steps out. He has a headset on and is communicating with someone, and a clipboard. And he says, I thought there were supposed to be 5 of you. And I say, trying to be cool, I don't know if it worked or not, I said, sorry man, just 3 tonight. Trying to act like we'd done this before. Well, we go in. They march us right in. We walk up the stairs that had been illuminated by the ATM enter key, and we get up to the bar, the after hours place. Now, I'm going to tell you, as a spoiler, no one got murdered. There weren't any real vampires up there because they don't exist, right? And there was really no scary thing or a threat. It was just a couple of people sitting around. There were weird piles of shoes everywhere as kind of like a gimmick. There was a guy selling beers out of a cooler. There was a lady singing and playing pool by herself. There were 2 rather well-dressed men sitting on the floor playing chess. There was a guy in a suit in the bathroom with his tie slung over his shoulder, saying, I don't even work. He had a plunger. He was trying to fix a toilet. He says, I don't even work here. I just love this place. So it was weird, but not exactly like as epic as we had maybe anticipated. But when we'd come in, we'd been led up the stairs and into this area. And then the man with the clipboard and the headset had gone up a little wrought iron staircase up to another floor and inside a private area. And so as we're just kind of sipping a beer and talking about what we're going to do to torture the other guys to scare them when we get back, the Czechoslovakian keeps eyeing that door. And eventually he says, I'm not leaving until I go up there and see what's going on up there. And I say, you mean it wasn't enough to go into the vampire bar or the after hours illegal vampire bar upstairs? You want to get in the VIP area? What are you trying to do? Get eaten here? He says, I want to see it. So we climb up the stairs, right out of a 1930s Dracula movie. Climb up the wrought iron staircase, and I'm in the lead. We're standing at a door that looks like a detective or like a PI's door. It's got the frosted glass, but you can sort of see inside. I'm peeking inside, right? I'm peeking inside, and I see that there are little, again, piles of shoes or things, piles of things, but I don't see any people. And there's a sign that says, only knock if you know, I'm going to make a name up, Roger. And it's all, every, handwritten, every word is underlined. Only knock if you know Roger. And I'm second guessing myself. And I turn and I go to the Czechoslovakian, dude, do you think we should, and he's just knocking. He's just knocking without a second thought. And what a build-up. I wish I could tell you that we, went into some kind of crazy brothel, like at the in the VIP area of the After Hours Vampire Bar, downtown Houston, Texas in 2011. But the fact is that because we didn't know Roger, they didn't answer that door. No one answered that door, so we never really knew for sure what was going on back there or why these people would be hanging out. I love the story as it is. I didn't need anything. I didn't need anything more. It was a great time, and I love sharing that story. And as I alluded to, we did get to scare our friends, X-Files and the baseball player. When we got back to the hotel, we pretended to be vampires ourselves and gave them a real scare about what had happened to us. So I went a little long today, but hey, it's the After Hours Vampire Bar story, and it's Streets of Rage 4. I could do this for hours. Thanks for joining us. We're real happy you're here. Please hit that subscribe button and check out our other content. There's plenty more Drink Play Swears now. I'm trying to do these every week. I hope you're enjoying them. Hope everybody's safe and everybody's well. In between now and Wednesday, I'm Todd. See ya.